All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Is Robert Saleh coming to the Niners? We'll talk about it next. But first, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue. Get some brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them the Krug sent you. And this video is sponsored by Better, the official daily fantasy sponsor of the Krug Show. Use Better to make daily fantasy lineups and win real money. We did it this weekend. Download the app below. Make sure you use the promo code NINERS, N-I-N-E-R-S, to get that first deposit matched up to $200. Do it. And also, we're giving away a jersey. So a Niner jersey in your number and your size and your color. You decide what you want. You tell us. So the winner, we are going to raffle off a jersey related to this as well. So definitely sign up, download that app. Make sure you use the promo code NINERS and get your first deposit matched up to $200. Thanks to Better for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right, the story this morning is that the New York Jets have fired Robert Saleh, the former Niner defensive coordinator who had a lot of success here in San Francisco, so much success that it caused Woody Johnson to hire him and give him a long-term contract a few years ago. And there's just a lot of forces of nature that have to be reversed when you inherit a losing franchise. I don't think people realize what it takes to reverse massive amounts of negativity when that's what surrounds your franchise, and that is what surrounds the New York Football Jets, as they say. Jets, 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 Jets. They should be chanting L-O-S-E, lose, 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 because that's what they D-O, D-O, D-O. I mean, that's what the Jets do. They lose. They don't win. So the fact that they didn't win with Robert Saleh, not surprising. So according to the story, he arrived at the Jets facility today, and he was rudely greeted and was actually escorted out of the building. How about that? I mean, as somebody who's been in radio, I got to be honest, I've seen this done many, many times, and it's just the way protocol is done in these high-stress environment type situations, and they don't want you anywhere near the mic. What if you said something? And they don't want him anywhere in the building. What if he told somebody, that he was done wrong? So they escorted him out of the building. Interestingly enough, they did not escort Adam Gase out of the building when they dumped Gase. So who knows? Woody Johnson felt like Saleh needed an escort. But Mike Silver, who obviously has some sources connected to Saleh, says that, the immediate thought from 49er fans is, well, maybe Saleh will come here and he'll be the replacement for Nick Sorensen and Brandon Staley, and we'll just snap our fingers. Saleh will walk through the door, and suddenly the Niners defense won't be slow in the back end. They won't lack pass rush up front. Devondre Campbell will suddenly become a really good linebacker, and everything will be right with the world. Oh, actually, no, none of that's going to happen. Silver says that Saleh, he's got a year left on his deal. He plans to regroup. What do NFL coaches do more than almost any other profession? They ignore their families, during football season. So it's the family pays a price when dad works 120-hour weeks. I mean, and does it week after week after week. The family pays a price. So Saleh, according to Silver, who probably knows Saleh, Saleh plans to regroup, go on vacation with his family. Has no plans to join the Niners or any other team here in the 2024 season. He'll pack it in. He may even pack it in next year and collect that money from the Jets. And because it's not a double situation, I think there's offset language in a lot of these NFL contracts. So if he's got 1 year left on his deal, and he does, he may want to just sit on the sidelines and collect that money and vacation and hang out. He's got, Saleh's got a huge family with tons of kids. Maybe he wants to just hang out and enjoy his family for a year. But I doubt he's going to run from the Jets fire into the Niner fire unless things get real bad, real quick, and Staley and Sorensen both get dumped. I don't see that happening. And so would Saleh potentially be a candidate to return as the Niner defensive coordinator in the future? Sure. He absolutely will be a candidate. He's well liked here. He's well respected here. He fits the culture. He was part of establishing the culture here. So I definitely think they would welcome him back. But, who knows? Maybe he doesn't want to come back. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But he doesn't sound like he wants to do anything this year. He just wants to collect checks, go on a vacation. It's like when you have as big a family as he has, and you probably haven't spent any real meaningful time with your kids in a long time, getting fired with a year left on your deal is a very unique opportunity for Saleh. So he's probably going to go on a few vacations and spend a lot of times with his family. As far as did he deserve to get fired? Well, since Saleh showed up in the Jets facility, the Jets defense is first in points per drive allowed, third in success rate allowed, first in EPA per play allowed. So defensively, they've done the job for the most part. Aaron Rodgers has been a huge disappointment. He was hurt last year. He doesn't look like the same guy this year. They brought in Garrett Wilson. They tried to improve their offensive line. They invested a high pick in Mekhi Becton, who, by the way, posted today a meme that basically showed him attending a funeral of somebody that he hates. So obviously he doesn't love Robert Saleh, who probably told Mekhi Becton, I don't know, you're a pro athlete, don't be obese, show up in shape and actually play. Because that's exactly what Becton was, obese, and they had to move him off to Philadelphia. But if you look at Saleh, he's a proven entity. And, the Niners run the system that run the same system that he coaches. And this season, by the way, his Jets defense has allowed the fewest yards per play, in the NFL. And their offense, by comparison, is 27th in this same stat. And yet the defensive, when you're the head coach, you're the head coach of the whole team. So, yeah, he's a defensive guy, and the offense laid an egg. But it's not like Robert Saleh forgot how to coach. There are a number of teams that will offer Robert Saleh a defensive coordinator position. Now, will he get another head coaching job in this next cycle? I don't know. There's so few of them, and there's so many different candidates. But I definitely think he would be a candidate to return to the 49ers, just not this year. The 49ers situation would really have to tumble out of control. Sorensen would have to fall apart. The defense would have to completely fall apart. The Niners would have to fall out of the race altogether. And at that point, would they ask Saleh to come in the 11th hour and try to salvage the rest of this year? Or would they take their top 10 draft choice, look for some key defensive player maybe next year, or maybe a key offensive tackle or something like that, and try to come back next year and maybe hire Saleh next year as a replacement for Sorensen or Staley? We'll see. There's a lot that has to happen between now and then. Is the problems the 49ers have on defense currently directly related to Nick Sorensen? I don't have enough information on that to make a definitive claim. All I can see right now is that Campbell's getting torched against the run or the pass. They seem relatively slow on the back end. They seem like they have three strong safeties and no free safety, unless Malik Mustafa, the rookie from Wake Forest, can do the job. Their front four, Nick Bosa got paid a huge sum of money because he was the defensive player of the year in the league a couple years ago. He doesn't look like the same guy to me. He doesn't. I just watched him and turned around and watched T.J. Watt and Aiden Hutchinson, and Aiden Hutchinson and T.J. Watt were quite a bit better than Nick. So I don't know if Nick's lost his fire, lost some of his athleticism, if he's injured or what, or if he's just trying to do too much. The week before, he had 9 pressures. This last game against Arizona, he had 2. So the 49er defensive tackles have been very inconsistent about playing the run. They don't have great depth at defensive end. They're missing Greenlaw in the worst way. Campbell is not a reasonable facsimile at all of Greenlaw. And they look a little slow in the back end, and they're getting beat over the top by verticals. Other than that, that's a hell of a defense. So yeah, no, I love Saleh. I think Saleh is a really good coach, and I think he'll be somebody's DC next year, maybe the Niners. This year, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Silver's probably connected to him. And if Saleh says, hey, man, I want to regroup, I want to take my large family on a vacation, I have no plans to join anybody for the rest of this year, I think you got to take him at face value. All right, thanks to Pig in a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Better for being the fantasy sponsor, the official daily fantasy sponsor of The Krug Show. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.